Become a member of the National At-Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support. Connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At-Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At-Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today. Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock.
My name is Danny.
And we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Dad Chat. Hope you all had a great week. Weather has been crazy in most places around the country, so I'm sure that everybody's dealing with some sort of weird adversary type situation with it was once warm and now cold, or maybe you had tornadoes one day and snow the next, who knows, like Iowa had and all that jazz. Here it's in Cincinnati, we've had warm day on Saturday of like 70, and now it's back down to like 30. So it's just stupid. However, everything's going, and I'm sure it's probably not much different where Danny's at.
I don't know, man. It got up to about 40, 41 yesterday, day before.
Yeah, but do you have snow coming by the end of the week?
I think so. It depends. They've got kind of like a wintry mix. They're not quite sure if it's going to be, cold enough to snow, but yeah, it's going to be 6 for the low tomorrow.
Burr. So, yeah, we're getting some snow at the end of the week. So, but
it's going to be 3 Friday night. 3.
Gross.
Just
yay.
3. I kind of like it. I just really like the change. I'm not settled here. This isn't like home yet. I miss my old property a lot. 7 acres. We had 7 acres and now we've got less than a half, I think. And it's just such a, it's first world problems. Oh, darn, you only have a, half acre. But at the same time, it's something I miss. I think about it a lot. Like I could go camping right now in Georgia, just walk out the back door and, go up to the camp we've got on the other side of the creek, and
right.
They don't even have to put up a tent probably, not going to be cold enough for sure. But I really like it here in a lot of ways. And the kids are acclimated really fast. I thought that was cool because we first got here and they were always freezing. And then it was like 28, I think the other day, like Thursday, Friday. And my son's like walking out. I'm like, don't you want to put a coat on? Or he's like, I guess I'll take it with me. And I'm like, yeah. Remember when we got here, you were like, oh my God, it's 45. I'm going to die. I'm like, no, you get used to it. So it's been cool for us.
That's good.
We like it.
Yeah.
I like everything. I'm easy.
I feel like there's a lot of stay-at-home dads on the move, like going to, getting ready to change locations. You changed locations. Don Hudson moved. We got Grady on the move. We got
Yeah, poor Grady.
There's a ton of guys on the move, man. I mean, Jeremy Haston is on the move. He been through a
Is
heck
he
of a deal.
definitely going, or was he looking for a place?
No,
And I know
from
did
what
he
I
pick a spot?
understand, I thought he said that they had a house already picked out. So something along those lines. But
Cool.
I mean, he's definitely going. I know that. So
Everybody knows Jeremy is an amazing human being and
Yeah.
has just one daughter, and I think she's 7, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I am sorry, Jeremy, if you ever hear this. I'm sorry. I don't remember how old your kids are, but I barely remember how old my kids are. But
Yeah.
he lives in Texas and he's looking to move. Where was he?
St. Louis, I think, is where
St.
they're
Louis?
looking at. Yeah.
Okay.
Which honestly, like St. Louis is going to gain themselves a juggernaut of a dad, honestly, who hopefully will spark a lot of other dads to start, getting together and whatnot. So it'll be
he's
pretty
an
exciting.
amazing personality. And really, I mean, I just feel like a lot of times when I talk to him, I'm like, man, the stuff that you've been through, the stuff that I've been through, it feels like, we could have been brothers,
Right.
But he's always got the good attitude. He always comes back with, a can-do attitude is what we used to call it.
Right. Well, and I mean, everything that he went through just like 2 weeks ago.
Just 2 weeks ago.
I mean, shoot, to
got a car
survive
accident.
to survive getting hit by a semi truck. I mean,
Mhm.
that's some scary business for sure. So
yeah, especially with your kid in the car.
Oh
man.
my God, yeah, and your dog too, and your wife. Like everybody was in there. So
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he ended up, and then the crazy part was that he didn't even get injured on the actual accident. He didn't get hurt till he was getting out of the tow truck. It's like, geez, dude. It's like, okay.
Did he slip on some ice, or did he
I think he slipped on
knee?
he like slipped on some ice and went to catch himself and cut his finger.
Cut his finger, his
ended
thumb.
Up in the ER. Ended up in the ER. It was like, geez, dude.
Yeah.
So, that was quite an adventure for him. But just all these guys that are going different places and stuff. And I think I always love the fact that even when people move, like there's plenty of guys within the network that, depending on where you're at, might not be too far away from you. So which is also nice.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So
I've got some great guys up here in Wisconsin. I have to admit, I've at least met, I think, most of them that are in the network and what have you. I may be wrong, maybe like 30 guys up, like, dude, you never even talk to me. But like from the convention and stuff, and the guys that are close, it's just, and then there's a lot of there's like a full on City Dads group down in Madison. It is about an hour and a half, hour 45 away, but
it's a bit of a truck.
That's not, it's a commitment, sure, but we're not going to find anything too big here in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin.
I feel like they make it worth your while for going down there.
Oh, it. Yeah. I mean, and like the Twin Cities guys, they're always like, dude, just come out here, man. We'll barbecue. We'll smoke some stuff. Well, I mean, smoke some meat. Excuse me. That's what they're talking about. And I said, smoke some stuff, and that could go a wrong way, but definitely you're talking about smoking, like we'll smoke some pork or some brisket or whatever. And then we'll, barbecue all this stuff. And yeah. And then of course they all have kids. So it's just like, just throw your kids in the mix. Yeah, definitely. I mean, who's going to notice? It goes from, I mean, I wouldn't notice if it went from 4 to 5. I'd be like, okay, put another plate down. I don't care. If it went from 4 to 8, I'd be like a little more stressed. But when you've got 4 or 5, 6 professional dads out there that have been doing it for years, be like,
right, you'd be fine.
A ripple. We don't even notice. Yeah. So
we were talking about weather before. Like I said, like we had like a day Saturday, it was 70 degrees here. I was stuck inside all day. It was like because we had a church event, and so I was doing live stream producing the entire time. So only when we had breaks would I actually get to go like outside for a little bit
and see the sun.
Yeah, see the sun. I walked home one point just to like go for a walk, since it was only like a few blocks from my house and everything. But and then like the next day it got cold. I'm like, are you serious? This is horrible.
Missed it. Missed your window.
Yeah. Well, and then I was saying, like, I've had an interesting like past 24 hours because actually almost 48 hours, but like the day started off fine on Monday, but the stress of everything, like just trying to get things done with the event that I was helping out with, I didn't get the podcast edited at the time I usually do. So I was
Mhm.
scurrying to get that done and didn't get it published like I was normally hoping to. And so all these things like came crashing down on Monday. And by Monday night, like I was just like I was toast. And uh I sat down on the dad lounge and I couldn't hardly even talk to the guys. Like I was just paralyzed mentally.
Mhm.
And I got to the point where I didn't even tell them goodbye because I didn't really want to get into a conversation about it. And I just like went on mute, turned my video off, like tilted the computer down and went into the bedroom. And Corey was working in the front room, just doing some stuff. And I literally got in a fetal position. I felt like a crumpled piece of paper that had been thrown in the corner,
Oh.
and I just was mentally spent and fell asleep. And when she woke me up, uh, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." Like, and I didn't even like talk. Like I was just I was in a deep, dark, nasty place, and I couldn't figure out why or how I got there really.
Mhm.
And so like she got me up and got me showered, got me back in bed, and I started talking about things. And I realized I had missed taking my medication on Sunday night. And so, and I obviously thought I had taken it because I didn't take it
Mhm.
on Monday morning. And so I ended up taking my Sunday and my Monday night meds together, like both of them to catch up. And
Mhm.
when I did that, like 30 minutes later, I was feeling so much better. And
Wow.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like that was horrible. I can't,
Yeah.
like, and I told her too, I was like, this is why I'm like this. Like I missed taking my meds.
Mhm.
Like, that's scary. And I was telling Joe Saladino that earlier today. And he's like, he jokingly was like, do I need to call you and like remind you? I'm like, no. But I was like, but it was just one of those things where it was like, it just snuck up on me. And I was like, man, it's so busy with everything else that I just
Mhm.
totally forgot to do anything about it. And then today, like I woke up and I remembered, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go pick up my motorcycle from my buddy that's had it for like a year, maybe 2 years actually, just sitting in his garage. And one of the guys from school, his son and my son are in the class together. He works on motorcycles, and so we were taking it to his shop and starting to work on it. And that was exciting because we got it to his shop, we got it to spark, uh, and
Nice.
then we started cleaning up some things on it. And he sent me a video after school when he got back to house, and he had actually got it to like turn over and like fire a little bit, like not a full fire because it doesn't have any gas or anything, but just to like turn
Mhm.
it like the turnover fire. And I was like, this is awesome. And he was like, I'm so excited. He's like, we're gonna get this thing running in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so
what
it's been an interesting day.
what kind of like not necessarily the make and model necessarily, but is it like a touring bike? Is it a cruiser? Is it a street bike? What are you
So
what are you riding?
yeah, it's a 1976 SX 175 Aramachi AMF Harley Davidson dirt bike. So
Sure.
it looks like a dirt bike.
Okay.
It was produced by Harley and AMF back in the 70s. And it's a 175 cc. So like the top speed on it's like 70 miles an hour.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
a nice little fun bike. It's going to be a bike that I can just zip around town on, and just have fun when I
Oh
want to get
yeah.
out and ride around on. So
Yeah.
it's got a carrier case, like it's got a little carrier rack on the back, and
Mm.
it's got a place for me to put like a couple like ammo saddlebags, like ammo box saddlebags on the back of
Mhm.
it. So that'll be fun. And I've had some
That's
people
cool.
invite me to go like do like an off-road like camping trip where you just ride your motorcycles out into the middle of nowhere and pitch a tent
Mhm.
and hang out for like a weekend. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing that
Oh
because
yeah.
that's what that bike was made for.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because I pulled up and started looking at pictures at it. Like, yeah, that'd be perfect
Yeah.
because you have just enough space on it to pack what gear you're gonna need, because you're not gonna need much.
No.
And then, I don't know if it's a place where you get your own food there, like camping, fishing or hunting or whatever, or if you have to pack it all in, pack it all out. But either way, you got what you need. That's
Right.
nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
So that's what we're working on. That's my project. I've had that motorcycle for 6 years just sitting around.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
it's kind of all worked out that when I met Steve, he was like, yeah, I work on those motorcycles. He's like, I flip motorcycles for fun. and he was showing me
That's-
all these like 1970s motorcycles that he like flips, and I'm like, oh, you're my guy. Like this is perfect. So started to build up
Speaking
a
of,
friendship with a new guy. So it's been pretty cool.
yeah. I like the I wouldn't ride a motorcycle. I just don't have the I feel like the hand-eye coordination. I just feel like that I would be unsafe on a motorcycle. Just because I mean, I would go too fast, and I'm not as fast as I used to be. My reaction time isn't as fast as it used to be. And I really feel like I'd get myself in trouble. And I also would love to have something that I could take someone with me, like one of the kids, especially.
Right.
So have you seen the little 3-wheelers slingshots from Polaris?
Yeah.
That's where I'm leaning.
Those are cool.
Because yeah, it's a really cool, and it's got a lot of performance. It's got a lot of solid handling, because you really get, because the back wheel is basically a motorcycle, motorcycle wheel, and the way it's all attached. And then I could have a kid with me.
Yeah.
Or better yet, I hate to say it better yet, but better yet, I'd take Marnie. Let's go ride up to wherever, go out to the park by ourselves.
And they're not super loud. They don't rumble. They're pretty quiet. They're almost like a car in a way, but the motorcycle feature to it. So yeah,
and fast. They're really fast.
Definitely fast. So
I'm all for fast, because we saw them in Gatlinburg. Because we went up there, and this was years ago, but we went through, and you're taking all the Dragon's Tail and all that, and we didn't go in through the really heavy stuff, because that's really where the speedsters are going, and we're just going to slow everybody down, because we had like 3 cars, and we're all carrying kids. I was like, we're not going to take that route. But you see the Polaris come through town even, and it's just like,
yep.
Wow, yeah, I want one of those. I need one of those. Yeah. So that's what I have my dream car right now. Because I really don't think I'd be good on a motorcycle. And I feel like for me, I want more comfort. Sure. Honestly. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm lazy, but I'm pretty close to lazy at this point when it comes to discomfort. It's like, you want to go camping, or do you want to take a pop-up with us? I'll take a pop-up. Yeah. Why not? But if we're going to go, honestly, if we went camping, it would be straight up a tent and a tarp over it, tarp under it, and a sleeping bag and all that, because I want the kids to have that.
Yeah. That's a fun experience.
Because there's nothing like coming back from a camping trip, and you finally, you're grimy, you're probably wet. You probably have at least a bag full of clothes that are wet and towels or whatever. And it smells a little bit, and it's all that, but still it's that a feeling of, man, we went out into the woods, and we just, we were fishing, we caught the fish. That's what we had for food. And it's a really great experience. So honestly, if I was going with the kids, I would do it. But if it was just, I don't know, maybe if it was just me and Marnie, I think I'd still probably do a tent. I don't know. But I do like my comforts.
I gonna say I would borrow my buddy's teardrop trailer if it was just me and Corey, because I mean, there's a full kitchen, and you get a queen size bed inside of there. I mean, it's comfy.
Yeah.
So,
but David McMillan, right? That's his teardrop.
Yeah. Although I did see where Brandon Billinger, I don't know if you know who he is or not.
I know his name, but I don't.
He also goes by the Rookie Dad. That's his blog post, but they just bought a brand new teardrop. It's really nice. Like, cool. We're talking like an 1,800 pound, sleeps like 4. Like each end has like a bed on it. The one is actually like a stationary bed, or like a couch. I think maybe it's like a couch that turns into a bed or something. And then the other side is like the dinette, and then the table drops down, and there's a bed that goes there for kids or whatever. It's got like a full galley kitchen, and it's nice. Yeah. And I was talking to him about it, and for the price that he paid for it is about what my wife and I have been talking we want to spend on like a tiny house. So we're like, I was like, that's a nice price, but I think I'm gonna wait.
It's a bit high for me.
Yeah, right now it's definitely a bit high, but at the same time too, it's exactly the kind of style that would be awesome for my family, because it sleeps 4, you get a full kitchen, like that kind of setup is perfect, because it's just like you can stow everything in there and not have to take it out, really, except for, actually you wouldn't have to take anything out. You'd pack it in and leave it there. So it'd be pretty nice. But yeah, they're going to do some adventuring. I'm kind of jealous, because that would be nice. Just be like, hey, let's go, and just take off. So
right. Yeah. Just drive and just go.
Yeah. Because packing the vehicle sucks.
It does. It really does. Especially
yeah.
because you always forget something.
Oh, of
no matter
course.
how well documented you are, no matter how you checklist, task list, all these things, and there's something that you left somewhere.
We're stopping at Walmart somewhere down the road.
You will. You know you are. You just have to plan it in. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the one thing we were looking forward to doing actually over spring break was going camping, but it's not going to work out for right now. So I've got to move some things around so that we can do that after school ends. We'll have a couple camping trips that we're going to go on, but it'll be fun, and we'll get her all situated to where we'll get out that. But even for the fact that we're not going camping, I was able to use the connection I made with FC Cincinnati when we did the group tickets for that. I got a hold of the sales guy, and he hooked me up with a really good price on 4 tickets for me to take my wife and the kids to a game. It'll be the kids' first game actually during spring break. So yeah,
nice.
So that's gonna be fun.
That's cool. You know what? Speaking of spring break, because that seems like something great and fun and awesome to do. And I'm looking around up here, and I'm like, what are we going to do on spring break? This is the place that people fly out of to go to like somewhere warm. Whereas, in Georgia, we would just go to the lake,
right?
Or we drive 6 hours down to Panama City, the Redneck Riviera, and we're just going to spend all week there. And, and up here, I'm like, I wonder, because I asked, I think one of the people at one of the schools, and I was like, so what are you going to do for spring break? And they were like, yeah, we're flying, whatever. I'm like, is there anything local that you would? I mean, is it going to be warm? And she was like, yeah, we have no idea. It could be warm. It could be hot. It could be cold. Everything could be frozen over.
Right.
I wouldn't depend on the weather to do anything that you wanted to do.
Yeah. It could be a blizzard. Who knows?
Exactly. You just don't know. You just got to, and I'm like, well, we'll probably still go to the state park. And because we really had plans to go to the state park several times now that have been disrupted. And I'm like, well, we'll go to the park. Probably won't be able to like camp overnight or anything like that, but at the very least get the kids out there and let's go either like learn to cross country ski or just hike. I don't know. It depends on how much snow's on the ground.
Have you ever been to or how far is the Dells from you?
I think it's about an hour and a half northeast. Yeah,
that looks like
it's
fun.
close
I've driven
enough.
by it a few times. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a huge area of just so much stuff, and we're looking forward to it. We're already
some nice inside stuff there to do.
We're looking to buy a couple of canoes, and we've been looking at them this last week or so. I was like, okay, how much money we're going to spend on it, because we need it for basically 3 people in each canoe.
Yeah.
So, because it's just we all have to go, so we're gonna have to have 2 at least, and maybe pull a kid behind in a kayak or something. I don't know how they would react to that, but we've been looking at, and let's just say I'm glad we're getting a tax return, and we're gonna put it in a solid investment of hopefully years of summer fun for us and the kids. So, but I was talking to Marty. I'm okay. So canoes, sure. Life vest. Maybe, definitely. I mean,
definitely.
maybe we have some. I say maybe because we have some, and I'm not sure if we need, so we probably have to buy at least 2, probably maybe 6 paddles, fishing rods, fishing tackle. We've got a bunch of camp stuff. Like I've got a camp stove or any of that stuff, so I could, do that. But anything on the water, we got nothing. We have no fishing poles left. All the fishing poles we had were kind of older, and I basically traded them to the guy that was buying the house to take some other stuff. Basically, I'm like, well, if you take that, I'll give you all my fishing equipment, because I mean, we came down to a point of we have to, which is better? Well, let's just wait until we get up there. Like, we had like 6 or 8 cane poles. I'm not going to pack those. I'm not. It's just a cane pole. I mean, it's just like, like $18 maybe at most, so, but we didn't have any premier fishing gear anyway, but so we have to replace all that, and we were looking at, it's going to be expensive. We may not do it this, we don't do all of it this year. We just do the canoes this year, and we'll just pack.
You need to look for an estate sale where there's like an older place, and you might be able to pick up fishing poles there for really cheap.
It's a good idea.
Actually, you might be able to get quite a bit up in that area. I bet you probably could get quite a bit of camping gear.
Yeah.
at a reduced price. I would
It's
I would
all
definitely
here.
check that out. Also, too, you might even talk to like a local livery. I know like one of the local liveries here, they shut down, and when they
Hmm.
shut down, they sold all of their canoes and kayaks and stuff, and so that's how we got ours a couple years back, because the
Okay,
COVID and
so
everything.
tell me what a livery is, because I thought it was a thing for horses.
No,
It
so a
was like horse
livery is
tack
just
and stuff.
a livery is another name for like a canoe, like company.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. So basically, yeah, livery is gonna have like your canoes and kayaks and rafts and that kind of thing. And but yeah, every once in a while, like if they're
Learn something new.
maybe they're going to you know, upgrade what they have. You know, maybe they've got stuff that's just, you know, out of date or whatever.
Hmm.
They'll a lot of times they'll sell it at a reduced
Rotate it out.
price. Yeah, like we
Yeah.
paid 250, I think it was, for our canoe or something like
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Holy
and
crap.
it came with life vests and paddles for 250.
Holy crap. Yeah.
And
Give me
it's
that deal.
and it's a really nice like fiberglass uh canoe.
Hmm.
So it was a steal, honestly. But that thing, we've taken that thing down the river so many times. I can't wait till it warms up, because it's so easy to just throw it on the car, and then
Yeah.
we take both cars and we drop one where we're gonna like, you know, take out,
Hmm.
and take the other one where we're gonna drop in, and you know, maybe we do like 8-10 miles, nothing big.
Nice.
And the kids have a blast. They actually, both kids, it'll be interesting to see how it works this year. But last year, both kids sat side by side, in the middle. Their boosters, like we were able to do like a high chair booster seat, like where it was ones
Uh-huh.
you can take it mobily and strap it in, like that sat there, and then an actual car booster seat, like just the bottom part, and they
Hmm.
sat side by side, and which
That's
was
cool.
nice because they could sit side by side. They could cast out and fish if they wanted to while we were, you know, like in less rough water, that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
it was just a lot of fun. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's a neat setup.
Yeah, yeah. And we were just looking at it because I was thinking of, okay, so we're fine getting there except the Suburban. I have to get a roof crack on it, honestly, but yeah, no problem.
I will say
So,
that it will fit on top of a Prius, by the way. That's what we do.
well, that was my question. Is
Yep.
I was looking at Marnie's car and I'm like, I don't know, because we will have two, but I thought, you know, at the very least, we'll drop your car off,
Yep.
you know, drop Prius off, and then we'll go back up, we'll launch them both, and then we get in the Prius and go get the Suburban and come back or whatever.
So
you know.
go buy 2 pool noodles and slice it down the middle so that you know you're like, and then they'll fit on the sides, like on the rails of it, and then that'll sit on top of the Prius, and it'll keep your canoe from scratching the top of the Prius, and then you can just ratchet strap it down to the hood, or to the top. So you just go through, like you open up the doors, and you just go through and ratchet it in there, and
you open the doors. You don't just run it through the window.
No, I did that the first time. Did it. That's why I specifically said open the doors, because I totally I got them both set up. It was so funny, dude. I had the windows down, put them through, locked it all in place, had them tight, and I was like, all right, let's get in the car. And I'm like, shit, I can't even open the doors. She's like,
I have
you didn't
stood
open
there.
the doors.
I have stood there with another gentleman and watched a young man ratchet strap his doors closed. And we were just like, yeah, you know, and he was like, maybe we should say something. I'm like, no. He won't learn if we tell him.
Right.
But if he does it, if he makes a mistake, and then again, we were like, we're going to go tell him we did the same thing. You know, I didn't actually do it because I saw someone else do it. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. You know, but I had but if I hadn't seen that, I'd be like, yeah, run it through the window, strap it down. Let's go. Oh, I guess we're Dukes of Hazzard into the window, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's what I told my wife. I was like, well, let's get in Dukes of Hazzard style. She's like, no, we won't.
Get in. Come on, woman. Be adventurous. That's why we bought canoes, right? Or a canoe.
That's right.
Be adventurous.
Oh, shoot. I said, we could climb in through the hatch. She's like,
yeah,
no.
There you go. Come on.
She was not adventurous that day. She's like, you unstrap that thing and put it the right way. So we made it work.
Yes, dear.
But yeah, that's the fun part about living right here, not far from the river. Like, you can put in a lot of different places, which is nice. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Which I think is good too, because then if you go to one spot that's too busy, well, we'll just go up the upriver another mile or whatever. Because that's, of course,
Yeah.
Wisconsin is covered in places to canoe. I mean, I could probably just portage the canoe from here to somewhere. In fact, we live in Portage County, so I could. So we live in a county that's named after carrying canoes. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But we could just, everywhere too. And what's really amazing is the amount of work that the community has done and is doing to maintain the trails locally and to keep the parks up so they're 100% useful all year round, basically.
Yeah.
And they're actually doing a walking path under the highway, the interstate.
Oh, cool.
They're looking to develop that so that people don't have to go up basically and cross over at the bridge, and you just have a walk path right there.
Nice.
It's amazing. The amount of time and effort and money really is amazing too, that they're putting into just making it just a fantastic place to live. So
yeah, we got a lot of trails like that coming in from different areas and stuff. So it's fun. Well, and too, like, there's the Little Miami like cleanup crew that you can be a part of. So like they have volunteer days, so they'll either give you a canoe or you can take your own, and you just basically paddle around and look for trash and pick it up. And it's nice. Especially with the water the way it has been here, holy cow, I can only imagine what we're going to find on the banks of the river this year.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where it's like I can't take the kids because there's no space in the middle to put stuff. And then two, on top of it, like I've seen where people don't pack their canoe correctly and end up tipping it or something.
Ooh, yeah.
And so it's just, you get a bit of a mess, but I'm looking forward to doing some of those. Cause it's just fun. Like you just go down the river and, clean it up, pick things up.
Well, taking care of your space, I feel it's always fulfilling.
Yeah.
It just makes me, I want it to be better. And I don't even look at it and go, oh, that trash makes me sad, but just doing the work for me is always just kind of encouraging.
The other thing that we started, we did a couple of years ago, which was a lot of fun, is David McMillan and his wife, they have a canoe and we were like, oh, like, let's go out on the river together. So we left the kids like with babysitters and we got out on the river, and it was fun because we brought beer and we brought some wine, and we brought flasks, and we were just like, all right, this is going to be fun. Like we're just going to float down the river and have a good time with it.
Yeah.
And it was all kinds of fun to just enjoy hanging out as a couple. So, and there were points where we let the ladies just relax, and we were like that, me and David, we were in the back of our canoes doing all the paddling and whatnot, and just lazy rivering it sort of like a gondola at times.
Yeah.
And just having that time of just getting to hang out with another couple and just enjoying nature. So
peace and quiet of nature and just enjoying the weather and all that. Yeah.
So that was fun to do, and we'll probably end up trying to do that again this year. So but
they would always, of course, the Chattahoochee was big in Georgia. It's the largest river there and all that. And
got a song about it.
It's got a song. It's got to be good. As Alan Jackson sang about it, right? The man's a living legend, so you got something. But they called it Shoot the Hooch, and it would be, I don't know if it was spring break or summer, because this was when I was a kid, when I lived over in that area. But you couldn't drive down that road because there'd be so many cars just parked along the sides, and people, the cops were like, no, if you're not stopping here, you need to go away. You need to go back that direction. And it was a major thoroughfare, but it was where everybody was either getting in or getting out, depending on when they started. And it would be thousands of tubes.
Yeah.
And hundreds of thousands of cans of beer, I would assume, but of course it was a party too. And a lot of people got a little rowdy, I'm sure. And, have a little fun. Sure. Get a little crazy. Sure. People do that, but the majority of what I saw was just people cruising. Just, this is nice.
Yeah.
Let's just drift, because it was inner tubes mostly. There weren't any, a lot of canoes and boats. It was mostly like the park rangers and the cops that had canoes and kayaks, like, hey, you're drinking too much beer or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what they would try to stop you
making
from
sure
doing.
that they're maybe wearing their life vests.
Keep their vest on.
Like
No vest when I was a kid, but probably now.
Okay.
Probably now. Yeah. There was not a lot of
Well, there's a YouTube channel that me and the kids love watching, where the guy, I think his name is DL Moody. Is that what it is? Something like that. The Almighty. But he is a scuba diver, and
Oof.
he lives down there in the Atlanta area. Um, oh man, but he basically goes around and dives where there's like inner tubes and stuff. And he comes up with all kinds of stuff. Like he'll find watches and iPhones,
Yeah.
and he does a lot of cleanup while he's down there and stuff. He actually won an award from like the scuba, like a scuba diving association for doing it. But he's just a young guy, like just enjoying all things that, a single, well, I think he's engaged now, but just, and guy without any kids gets to do kind of deal. So, but he's fun because, I mean, he'll find people's iPhones and return them to him for free. Like he'll actually get them like to where he can actually track them down and stuff. And so
Nice.
But it's insane the things that he finds down there. Like even to the point where he actually has found like cremated remains in the river. Or
Not surprising.
Or he's found, or a few times he's found guns, like actually, like, and had to call the police and stuff. And for the first few times, people were like, "Who are you? What are you doing? Why do you have a gun?"
Yeah.
And eventually, like, they got to know who he was, and it's been a lot smoother for him to like ask for stuff, or to tell him that that's what they found. But yeah, he'll walk like the spillways, the like the high walled spillways, and look for things as well. And he'll actually like he'll scuba dive, or like not even scuba dive, like they'll like snorkel down where like there's the deep portions of it where it's kind of like the grotesque. I'm like, how are you going in that gross water? Yuck. But come up with all kinds of weird stuff. So yeah, man,
I miss scuba diving. Just thinking about it, it's been too long.
That'd be a little bit cold up where you're at.
Yeah, polar plunge. Let's do it. I'll get a dry suit, man.
Well,
I've always kind of wanted to wear a dry suit just to try it out, because I've never had the opportunity or need. My God, even a wetsuit's kind of been kind of too hot at times. But yeah, I miss diving.
That's cool.
Get Marnie to do with me. But anyway,
that's fun. But yeah, I mean, so I think I'm just ready for it to get warm to just get to do a lot of that stuff. So
yep, same.
This up and down thing is not my friend at all.
Just decide, be one or the other.
Yeah.
Give me heat or give me cold. Let's just move on.
Definitely. But how are you doing health wise, man? Are you getting any better?
No, I'm getting better, but yeah, I'm still like, I'm almost out of breath now. I want to stop talking.
Sure.
But yeah, I cough a lot, and yeah, it's fine. They gave me an albuterol inhaler. I think it's albuterol, but just to kind of help expand it, and keep my breathing every hour, do some heavy breathing and stuff like that. So pull up a picture of my wife and get that done every hour. Heavy breathing. Because my wife, hello, that's a joke. Come on.
I would get sorry.
Man, someone else out there got that and laughed. Someone is listening, like, "Hi, Danny, you're funny."
Someone listening got that.
Looks aren't everything. But yeah, I'm not better at all. I'm exhausted well, actually, I made dinner for the first time in weeks. I mean, I've cooked like microwave stuff or like the air fryer stuff. I haven't cooked though, at all. But tonight I made just I love the word. It's a chub, right? So there's meat tubes, it's called a chub. I got a 5-pound chub of ground beef, because we'll eat, we have to go with what's cheapest, really. I mean, we reach a point, like people are like, oh, it's easy. We just have breakfast, have eggs or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. So a dozen eggs is breakfast.
Yeah.
Good, done. There's no, and at least, if we're going to have toast, that's a half loaf of bread, unless they want sandwiches, because they want egg sandwiches. Yeah.
Now I saw on TikTok where a guy got an emu for his farm and I'll tell you right now, man, one emu egg is about the equivalent of a dozen eggs.
That makes sense.
It is a huge yolk. So maybe you need to get an emu.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Yeah. We'll let him run around for the 6 months that it's hot, and the other 6 months he stays in the basement.
There you go. You can domesticate him.
No, I don't think emus get domesticated. I have a feeling from the stories that I've heard about emus that I get my ass kicked every. Oops, I shouldn't be cussing. I get my butt kicked in every
Just
every
because
winter.
they have raptor talons. I mean, come on.
It's just like, oh man, yeah, I know. How did
Blue,
you guys
calm
ever
down,
go to
Blue.
stink?
Calm down, Blue.
Blue, lol.
So you can name it.
Yeah. But I will say too, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he did kind of the opposite of what we did, where he moved out to kind of the woods and bought a larger property with, you know, the ability to homestead on it really if he wanted to, but at least, you know, big garden. He's got his seedlings already going, you know, he's got his greenhouse they're putting up, just a temporary that plans to make a permanent greenhouse for next year and all this. And he's in Canada, so it's a good bit different, you know, but still it's the same stuff. And I'm just thinking, man, I would have, like, it's March. All right. So I'd be putting in some winter vegetables and getting ready for the spring vegetables. I'd be putting in my peas and, you know, corn and stuff like that, and just getting it ready to go. Yeah. Have all my seedlings going. And this year I will get a pepper plant and a tomato plant, and I will keep them in my kitchen window probably. And that'll be the extent herbs, some herbs, but it's like the stuff that I would use to cook, you know, and that's it. And I'm just like,
did you finally get your booster shot finally?
No,
so
no, I haven't. I have not been up to going out.
Yeah, okay.
It's just been, and the doctor said, don't worry about it. Right now, you're technically, you cannot get it or transmit it. You know, you're not contagious at this point because of you just having had it. He didn't say, you know, like this will last forever, of course, but he said, give yourself a couple of weeks, work on the exhaustion, work on your breath, because, you know, I had something in one of my lungs. He's like, we don't want to let that become something bad. You know, he won't use like pneumonia, because that's what I said. You know, just something bad. I'm like,
something bad. Just say the word, doctor.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, give me the news, doc. But yeah, so no, I haven't done anything. I do have them scheduled for, I don't remember when, but I have them scheduled coming up because I don't know why we're talking about this, but I need my booster, and then I also need my pneumonia and my shingles, because I'm old. So I have to get shingles now. Yeah,
that's for if you had chicken pox as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Now, don't quote me, because I'm
pretty sure. Well, hey man, I'm in that same boat, dude. I had chicken pox. I didn't get that. I didn't get the luxury of getting that vaccine that all the other kids did.
I know my mom was around, like, got all the aunts together and just rubbing us kids on each other. Yeah. When we got one guy, oh, you got chicken pox? Here, give my kid chicken pox. He'll be fine. I'm sure that's what, you know, when you wanted to sleep in a tub of calamine lotion.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know if that stuff exists anymore.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, good.
You can even get it in clear form.
Oh.
Instead of turning yourself all pink.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah. Wonders never cease. I love living in the future. This is amazing.
My wife is apparently allergic to mosquitoes. They love her.
Oh no.
And so when that happens, it's like, okay, calamine. Although I did learn something new, and you might actually like this. You might find this interesting. So a gel, like speed stick type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
If you use that on a mosquito bite, it actually like stops it from itching.
So you mean like an antiperspirant gel stick?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Just like a roll on.
That's odd. Why would it do that?
I don't know, but it does. And it actually works really well. And it doesn't, you know, unlike like a calamine lotion where, you know, when it gets wet, it starts to sort of like, you know, dissipate or whatever. When you put the speed stick on, it doesn't do that because it's an antiperspirant, right? So it's got like that sort of water resistant to it. But she usually just like carries around like a stick of it when she gets bit by mosquitoes and stuff. So it's sort of it is a necessity that is usually in our camping gear whenever we go camping.
Oh, sure.
So, but yeah, it works really well. It's a good home remedy.
The aluminum salts and the antiperspirant help the body to reabsorb the fluid in the bug bite. So the swelling goes down, the itching stops. Wow.
There it is. There's the scientific portion.
Aluminum salts, you know, because I have to look it up. I'll give it a goog.
Sure.
I wouldn't know.
So yeah, so instead of having to paint yourself pink with calamine lotion,
right? Yeah,
you can do that.
I guess what I'm putting on my list for summer is keep a thing of antiperspirant in there.
Yeah,
so,
right?
you know, so do you think you're going to stink that bad? Well, one, yes, because I'm camping, but two, no, it's for bug bites. It'll be in a little first aid kit. Like, why is this? Wait, there you go.
Yeah,
and then it'll
not
stop itching,
and
and then
it
be like,
can't be
"Kenny."
it can't be the white chalky
Mm-mm.
looking type. It's got
The
to be
gel stuff.
the green gel type style. Yeah,
Got it. I can
Yep.
do that.
that works. So
All right, man.
fun little tip for you for tonight.
Yeah, learning something new every day. That
Hey.
and that a livery actually has something to do with canoes.
And the livery.
I mean, you look it up and it says livery stable. It's a,
Yeah.
you know, also livery is like a uniform or whatever the livery of the United States Army is.
Yes.
You know, this, but yeah, neat. So I'm going to look for local liveries who might be
There you go.
looking to get rid of their 2021 stock.
Yeah.
Buying new stuff for the 2022 spring.
I'm telling you, man, that between that and estate sales, like you can come up with some good
Mhm.
stuff. Actually, so here's a little side story about estate sales. I worked with a guy who would go to estate sales and he would buy books, like the old books that were there.
Mhm.
And because you could get a big bulk buy of books for dirt cheap. Nobody wanted them half the time.
Yeah.
But what he would do is he would spend his time flipping through the pages of these books.
Mhm.
And you know what he would find in between the pages of these books? Money. Yeah. Because for whatever reason, old people back in the day would actually stick money in their books.
Mhm.
So he said he would buy, like, sometimes he'd get like a batch of like $10 worth of books or something like that. He might come out with like $100 in ones or something crazy like that. I'm like,
Nice.
that's actually pretty wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works at every single estate, but hey.
I thought you were
take
going
the
to.
books and he would take the books and like donate them or
Mhm.
whatever.
I thought you were going to say autographs.
Oh,
Autographed copies of books. Is it because
might find some of that.
my little brother Lauren Jaffe, he collects autographs, and we've done that in the past. Where we just basically go through a thrift store and just look through all the books to see.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, why would they be here? And he's like, where else would they be? And sure enough, we found like 6 or 8. He had most of them. So he's got a big collection already, but it was really cool just to kind of hang out and look. It's like a treasure hunt, you know, it was really fun.
Well, the other thing that some people go through for at estate sales is they look for whiskey bourbon, like that's down in like the basements and stuff where they've hidden it, like prohibition wise. And people have found some pretty good treasures just hanging out down in the dark. So yes, I've yet to go to a estate sale, but I've talked to lots of people who have, and they have great, just fun stories to tell about their finds. So I just haven't had the adventure myself yet.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe someday. But I don't really have much else to talk about.
I'm done. I'm out of breath. I started coughing a second ago, so let's go.
All right, sounds good. Well, I will say this. Hopefully, we'll get some guests on here coming up. We've got a couple people that have reached out to us, so I'm looking forward to bringing on some fun conversations with those folks, and we'll get some things going. Oh, I will tell you, Art Eddie said thank you very much for the shout out about the Galactic Starship visit.
And have you seen like anybody else's review of it, or have you looked it up or anything? Because I did, because I'm like, okay, I need to know more about this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm amazing. Like, this is, I mean, my kids are not going to actually believe, because they're old, that they're on a starship, but I would get into it. I would be like, no, I'm letting it go. I am now a Jedi. And I have, one of the tenets of being a that side Jedi is no attachments. Yep. So I love you, my children, but I don't love you that much. And I'm going to go be a Jedi now. You guys be as grumpy as you want, but I'm going to go learn to use a lightsaber.
Love it. All right. Well, on that note, it's time to not be attached to each other for a while. So we will talk to everybody next week, and we'll hope you all have a great week. And with that, good night.
Good night, everybody. Loki has done so much to change the MCU because he's the god of mischief. He's the god of chaos, basically. So he's just running around, not chaos specifically. And I'm apologizing to any of my rules lawyer, true geek friends who are going to kill me because of the phrasing I'm using. But he's basically chaotic. Yeah, he's running around doing the crazy things that, I'm just going to run over here and do this. Whoa, why do you have the cosmic cube? There's an infinity stone in there. Why do you have that? And he's like, I'm taking this home. And he disappears. He's like, what do you do with that? Oh, well, I go and change the entire timeline. It's amazing. I love it.
Which is interesting too, because there's so many different like little bits and pieces, which that's what I love about like some of the people I follow on Twitter, because you get all those little like extra little pieces.
Mhm.
Like there's one guy that I follow who he's always got like the all these little extra tidbits in there. There's two guys that are like these two Asian guys that I love to watch, who are always like, have you heard the theory about this? And it's, all these different like deals where like for instance, the one was had to do with in Moana, where she saves the one sea turtle, and then
Mhm.
like that they basically say that sea turtle is like Crush later on. And
No way. That's
yeah.
beautiful. That's
so
beautiful.
stuff like that, or that the
We should
girl
clarify. Sorry, Crush from Finding Nemo for everyone who didn't get
Crush
the
from
reference
Finding Nemo,
immediately.
yeah.
I got it, but I'm just saying we got a lot of people listening, to
Right.
the number one podcast in Sadding. So we want to make sure we clarify for this thing. Didn't mean to derail you, though. I always do that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, just all these different little things like that. So you've got all that going on with those guys. And then I just saw where one of our good buddies that was on the show with us back last May, our Eddie, got invited down to Disney to be a part of, or not Disney, I guess it is part of Disney, but got to be a part of like the pre-launch for the new like resort that they have down there for Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star
Like
Wars. It's a
Galactic.
ship, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
galactic. It's a. I don't know what ship it is. I know it's not like the Millennium Falcon or anything, but it's a giant.
It's just a giant
ship.
galactic. Yeah, it's just like an
Yeah.
imperial. Yeah, like a ship or whatever. Where like basically you stay in these rooms. There's no windows. Like the windows that would be are actually like monitor screens, but
Mhm.
and it looks like space and stuff like that. And they've got like lightsaber training and like the actual like bar type setup that you would have in Star Wars and stuff.
That
But I'm like,
sounds perfect.
yeah, and I'm like, and I'm watching like Art and this other guy who goes by the name of Straw Hat Goofy and stuff in there, and they're just showing all the, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are freaking awesome. Like this is so neat. But yeah, he was like, he was showing like I got to go and do all this different stuff, and I'm like, that's wild. The funny thing is that there's a really cool video that I saw from that, where at the end they had a scene where Rey fights yeah, gosh, why am I messing up on names? Yeah, who's the villain? I'm so bad.
Palpatine?
No, Ben Solo.
Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren. There it is. Gosh, man,
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, it's been a day. So they have a fight scene for everybody to watch, and she's holding one of the most realistic lightsabers, but it's super flimsy, but you don't know that. And she's just holding the actual handle of it. And when she hits it, it actually goes up, but it's not one of your normal ones, but you can't fight with it because of the way
Yeah.
it's set up. So she's got this really awkward transition where she like sets it down and then picks up one of the like normal lightsabers that we all can buy type
You
of
can
deal.
fight with. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was still really cool to like watch it
Yeah.
go, like up, like in the
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
you're like, oh my gosh, can I buy that one? They made it
Well, that's-
very well known that like it is not
Not for sale.
Not for
getting this
sale.
one.
one of a
Yeah,
kind.
we'll get it eventually. I
Yeah.
guarantee it's coming because there's too many geeks out there. They're gonna. And speaking of, because you mentioned art and I mentioned geeks, I can't imagine. I don't know anybody that deserves it more than Art Eddie to get to go to that hotel, that resort, and stay and experience this. And I'm so happy for you, Art. If you ever hear this, kudos, man. I am really just delighted that you got that, because that's perfect in my opinion.
we might have to bring him on just so that he can talk about that.
just geek for a
do
while.
do another May the 4th and bring him on.
Oh yeah. Hey, May's coming. All right,
I know.
Art, if you're not listening, get on it. We're coming.
He'd be
We'll
listening.
call you.
So, but yeah, so that just all kinds of fun movie stuff. There's so many good movies coming out. I'm getting amped up about that, because the one that my wife is so much excited about, and we just found out it was shot in IMAX, so that's even better,
Ooh,
because
yeah.
is the new Top Gun.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's shot in IMAX. That will be epic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks amazing. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
mean, so good. And
Well, is there a shirtless volleyball scene?
Yep.
Is there really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, well, Marnie will watch it.
There's that. There's the shirtless volleyball scene. There is there's a bar scene as well. So all of that stuff is in there. It's a lot of the characters, like you've got a character that looks just like Goose because Goose's son is in it. You've got a character that, man, I think he looks a lot like Iceman, honestly. And then
Val Kilmer. Oh,
yeah. And so I don't know if they've like their kids actually are like going to be a part of it. I know for
that'd be
certain
cool,
that
though.
Goose's, I know for certain that the one guy in it is actually Goose's son. Like that's the portrayal, is that he's in there.
Wait, is it the actor's son playing a character, or is it Goose's son as
Goose's
a character?
Goose's character's son.
Okay, all right. Just
playing,
wanted
yeah.
to clarify. It was
No, we don't have
yeah.
Dr. Green.
Talk to me, Goose. Yeah. Don't make me cry, man.
No. So yeah, so that's one of the ones that we're really looking forward to. So and there's just so many other movies that are coming out. So
Marnie and I have a date night on Wednesday.
Ooh.
And we're planning to watch West Side Story on TV.
The new one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yep, because I kind of love musicals. I haven't really ever seen musicals growing up. They're kind of, you'd hear the songs and I'd like to sing to them, but I never like watched Oklahoma or anything like that. We didn't do those things in school. At least my family didn't, I guess. But Marnie did, and she loves musicals, and she was like, yeah. And so I looked at it, and it's coming up. I saw like a preview or whatever. So I sent her a thing like, all right, so Wednesday, regular date night, you good? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, let's watch West Side Story. And she's like, you do love me. I'm like, yeah, I really do. Next week, we may watch something way more gory, thanks. Something with some violence. I don't know, something that I could get it. A war movie. Can we watch a war movie? No, we can't watch war movies, by the way.
Well, and from a kid standpoint, a movie that's coming out that my kids are excited about, I am too, is the Turning Red with the panda. The red panda?
No, I don't know anything about that one.
You don't know about
wait. It's the little girl that poops into a giant.
It's gonna
I've
be
only
on
seen the
Disney
trailer
Plus.
one time. Yeah. So tell us about it.
So it's coming out on Disney Plus. I think March 11th, actually.
Cool.
Basically, it has to do with family heritage in the Asian culture, and it's like some weird rite of passage where when her, hormones go kind of bonkers like most kids do at that age, she turns into a giant red panda. I mean, and we're talking like a giant red panda, like
it gotta be like 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
when I remember the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, she's huge. And like,
it's
there
like,
you go, man.
Yeah, it's a straight up like cosplay, like furry type thing. my favorite scene is my favorite scene by far has got to be the scene where she's in the bathroom and she turns into the red panda, and the girl comes out of the stall and gets ready to scream and she just puts her paw like in her face and just pushes her back into the stall.
No screaming. Shh.
Yeah. So it looks hysterical, and I mean, it just falls in line with a lot of the other shows that Disney Plus has been putting out here recently with, Encanto and Luca and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a good one. So we're excited about that. But yeah, I mean, it all these different shows. New Batman's out. Uncharted.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see. Everybody always pans any new Spider-Man, new Thor, anything you've got coming out. Oh, no, he's not this guy. We want this guy. Sure, cool, gotcha. I understand. However, every single character has brought so much to each of the Batman characters, and like, who's your favorite? Okay, you got a favorite. I'm kind of like, I like every single one in their movie.
They're all unique.
They were best. Yeah, absolutely. It's like Doctor Who. You don't watch Doctor Who, do you?
I don't, but I mean, I understand there have been multiple Doctor Who's. Well, and two, with Batman, there are multiple different like comics of Batman. So it only makes sense for there to be multiple entities of movies that make sense, because they don't look the same. Although I did hear in an interview that the guy playing Batman, which I'm so like, I'm just pulling it up here because I'm gonna die. Like Robert Pattinson, he, another Harry Potter guy, is playing
also
Batman.
Twilight, filthy casual. He was only in like one part of one Harry Potter movie, and he died.
He dies in Harry Potter. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, come on. Twilight never died.
Never died.
Just saying. for
So
like thousands of years.
he said that he got to try on all the Batman suits so they could find
Wait, like all the old ones?
yeah,
Or like, oh,
like Keaton's and all those guys. Like he got to try them all on. He said so because they were trying to figure out like how like helmets were going to work on him and stuff like that.
yeah,
but I was
the
like,
cowl. That's
and the
the
cowl.
worst part about the cowl is basically not being able to move your head. You got to like turn your whole body and tilt your head up to look at it. Can't turn your neck.
My cousin has been cosplaying Batman for like a decade or two. So
cool.
He's got a really sweet.
You've got
suit.
deep geek roots, man. I'm impressed.
Yeah. He was Batman down in like San Antonio, and he goes by Hoosier Batman. He's in Indiana now, and so he was doing that for a while.
Nice.
And his wife plays
Very
Harley
cool.
Quinn, so they've got some awesome pictures of them. And then he dresses up as the Joker too. So, yeah, it goes deep.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so that show is looking really cool too. And then this is one that I'll be watching by myself, is the new Jackass movie.
Oh yeah.
Because I just thought they were so funny, and I watched it when I was in college on MTV, and the movies have been hysterical. This last one, I mean, the movie, like they've got Machine Gun Kelly on there getting smacked in the face, and I'm just like, dude, I just want to see that. Because they tell him it's not going to hurt, and he gets out of the pool after getting. He's like, "You told me that wasn't going to hurt. That hurts so bad."
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
I'm like, man, don't never
watch this show.
Yeah, don't think anything's not going to hurt. So, but
we've been watching a series that we found just recently, and it's on Disney Plus, and it's called The Mysterious Benedict Society.
Oh, yeah.
It's about some very, very intelligent, very talented children who think kind of outside the box. And the narration is kind of, we're looking for people who want to know the truth and who believe and search for the truth. And even though the world that we live in, and it's their own world, their own things are going on. It's not our world, but it's very it's kind of runs together with it, in that we want to know not only the truth, but we want to look for people who don't fall to the despair that our daily life seems to be kind of cramming down our throats. And it's really, really, I mean, you can look at it as almost a political statement if you want to, but the thing that I get out of it, and the things that Marcus, especially my 9-year-old, gets out of it, is that, okay, children have the ability to change the world.
Oh yeah.
Children have the entire world in their hands. They have the imagination, the strength, the intelligence, everything that you need to make the world a better place. And that's a message I think that all kids need, every generation, ad infinitum. Yep. Every child ever should be able to think, oh, well, yeah, kids can change the world, to help inspire them to do things just like that. So the Mysterious Benedict Society for us has been a great little segue. We just step off and watch that episode, and then we go back to doing whatever. We've watched, I think, 4 episodes now.
That's cool.
But really just a delightful little kids show that the parents can kind of watch without, getting inundated with new songs to sing, or having to buy new toys or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'll have to check that out, because I think we watched maybe an episode of it, but the kids didn't seem like they were getting drawn into it. But that was a while ago, so we can always try again. So, but yeah, I mean, there's just so many different shows out there that are getting into. Like, we've had to change our spring break plans around, so we'll probably be watching some of that stuff from time to time. So, but we'll leave it at this, and then we're gonna go, because I know Danny needs to definitely.
I'm running out of air, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. After you, for those of you who are listening to this, after you've listened to this, like, let us know in the posts that we have, like, what are some shows that you're looking forward to? Like, what's your favorite movies? Like, let's have a conversation online about this, because honestly, like, I love being able to post something and then like have a conversation, and that way we can interact with everybody about what their favorite movies are, what shows they're watching, that kind of thing, because there's a lot out there to be had, and we could be on here for days talking about it. So
and we want new suggestions. I mean, at least I do. I want to hear about all these things, because like Red, you mentioned Red, and I'd forgotten it. I saw the trailer only one time, but I would have remembered it eventually, but now I've got it on my list. So anybody out there, if you've got a favorite thing you're watching right now, something that's going great with your kids, I know I'd love to hear about it. And we definitely would like to be able to tell everybody about those things, like Red, or, you know, honestly, Peacemaker in a way, you know, what not to watch with your kids, I guess. But
yeah,
Free
Euphoria,
Guy
what
and
not
all
to
that.
watch with your kids.
Yeah, exactly. Things you should not be watching with kids.
I'm
in the
watching that
room.
right now too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, would love to hear from everybody.
Cool.
So I
yeah.
agree with that.
Sweet. Well, hey, I think we're gonna end it up there, man. I hope that you get to feeling better. I know that you've been having some rough goes with things. So hopefully
Better every day. Better every day.
And it's starting to warm up your way. So hopefully that continues, even though there's more snow on the way from what I understand. So hopefully it doesn't stick around for long. But other than that, we'll talk to y'all again next week. And yeah, let us know what you're watching. So y'all have a good one. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.